Alrighty, so we are once more finding ourselves on Dorado. The Dorado theme music is playing, and even though it's not against Selfless, perhaps this is a little bit more of a salty run back here for Rise, where Rise will have an opportunity to go, hey, what happened in the last map? Kind of a fluke. We can play good Dorado defense, we swear.
Yeah, well, that was about as bad as you can lose Dorado. So they need to show something, maybe a little different. We'll see what they want to run out here compositionally. And you know what? Even if they lose it immediately, I think I'm going to be happy because they are leaving spawn with a Symmetra. Ah, Locke, you break my heart. All right, well, they're still running something a little bit different, at least. Xretzi is off of his McCree. He's going to be playing the defensive Junkrat. Locke will be on the Zenyatta Spirit. Reaper is his spirit animal. Desro will be on the Reinhardt. Faz as on the Lucio in Midnight. Rounding it out on Zarya.
Actually, Xretzi is just playing with your heart, Hex, because he is going McCree in the end.
This is how you make enemies, Rise. This is how you make enemies.
Just make the casters look bad by swapping constantly. Either way, take a look here at the offense, where there's certainly going to be some swaps here. It will be Nomi on the Reinhardt, that much is for sure. Grim Reality probably will be on the Roadhog. JR on the Lucio, Hype on the Zenyatta, Agilities on Genji, and Hyped, not Hype, will be on Zarya. So that was a little bit of toying around there with Bastion, but it is not his day just yet.
No, but it is cool to see the Roadhog here. Grim Reality will kind of switch off onto that on occasion rather than running his McCree. Does not want to just take shots through the tunnel here, so they're going to look for a pick instead with a giant hook. So kind of slow going here as Agilities takes the left. He's got eyes in the stairs, going to try to poke through, and other than that, they're just kind of putting tanks through the archway.
And the thing about Genji here too, where people looking and say, well, he doesn't seem to be getting much done. Even if he's not killing anyone, he's still building ultimate here. So any shots that Agility hits, very worthwhile. And for now, the offense doing a decent job of Lance and Poke, moving it forward, Payload making good, consistent progress. But now is a time where they're going to have to commit to a fight. Grim Reality, of course, is on Roadhog, was looking for an early pick, has not been able to get it here just yet. And it's back and forth here. Offense getting poked down pretty heavily by that Fire Strike. And Hex, Desro might have an Earth Shatter in this fight.
Yeah, they wanted to take the fight to him there. It looked like they were going to speed burst and really jump in, but they kind of backed out at the last second there, choosing not to fight all the way through the archway. So it was a good back out. But look at this. Grim Reality and Agility start with 2 kills. Xretzi takes down Agilities in turn. It is 4v... Wow, now it's 4v3 as Hype takes down another.
Yeah, going from bad to worse here for the defense. Agility's made the distraction. Grim Reality was able to help capitalize on, and nothing too flashy there. They just got a few picks, then got a few more. They're going to take this point really quickly.
Well, the early pick was on Desro, who you mentioned might have an Earth Shatter in that fight. Does he not go down early, maybe gets one more swing of his hammer off, then he might have that Earth Shatter, might be seeing a totally different fight. As is, they're holding high ground. Agility's getting very aggressive, knowing he's got the Zarya bubble and the orb with him. He's a fully supported Genji. Reality's another pick, takes out Retzi.
Grim Reality able to thread the needle, got a big hook onto the high ground. Now Threatsy down, an engine of DPS is going to be out of this here for the side of Rise Nation, and it puts a lot more pressure on Desro here to land a good Earth Shatter. Easier said than done when up against so many ults right now for the offense. The offense super well positioned for the next fight, but if they want to hold here, the defense must hit a Miracle Earth Shatter.
I mean, the best thing to say right now is it's not as bad as it was against Selfless. Here comes a nice Transcend. That should save him. I don't know exactly about that Earth Shatter.
Earth Shatter did not work out. Agilities with the big reflect on Rutzi, moving forward, moving in. Double kill for Agilities, still not to be stopped. Face melting Zarya beam on him, forces him back, but just too many people have died here for the defense. Agility finishing it up cleanly, and this is going to be a continuous offense that really has not been stopped.
Yeah, Rise is just having trouble. Maybe it's the map. I don't know. Maybe it's the pressure. They went into you know, the other games with a little bit of no pressure. No one expected them to do anything. Now they're on a bigger stage. Maybe not used to it just yet, but it has been all bad for Rise Nation.
Midnight with the 20 HP, able to move in, gets the big graviton, sets up for 3 kills. Midnight should rightly be dead. Came alive at the last moment, practically a zombie at this point, and this might actually be a hold for Rise. Big plays for Midnight.
Yeah, Hype pops a really late Transcendence, and his team bails him out on that decision as Agilities gets the Dragon Blade off. It cleans up with 3 kills.
Look at Spirit, though, returning fire on the payload. A double kill for Spirit. Agility's in rough shape. Ate the full brunt of that last shotgun blast. Desro going back in, and this delay from Rise is actually working out despite the heroics from Agilities. The offense has reestablished a little bit sooner, but Zenyatta now on the scene, pushing them back. Spirit leading the way, gets another double kill. What am I watching right now, Hex?
Well, you're watching Rise actually come to life a little bit. That was the scrappiest fight, and somehow they brought it back. And it began in the scrappiest way, as you mentioned. Midnight with like 20 HP taking a fight to him. Then it was just back and forth. Agilities cleans up. Spirit Death Blossoms. Running the Zenyatta, I think they were just happy to have ultimates for once on Dorado, and they made the most of it. Now they're in a decent position to hold. They've got some good ultimates to work with, too. They have the ult advantage.
Here comes the Graviton right now. Graviton is in Spirit right now, trying to go to the back. Grim Reality able to take out Desro to start things out here. 2 kills from the side of Sodipop. Make it 3. They're going to move it forward and finally take this point.
Yeah, Desro, every time he gets Graviton, just immediately Earth Shatters, and he's done it twice so far this map, and it has not worked out at all either time. So maybe it's just a gut reaction that maybe I can save my team if I Earth Shatter, but not working out so far, and that's an ult that they would like to have on this defense. They might be able to get in position here. Agilities and Hype are pushed very far forward, though. Defense is going to be in a rough spot to try to get their feet under them. They are going to be able to rotate up top, though. That's the ground you want to hold on Dorado last.
Yeah, the offense, this is going to be rough. It's not just an ult advantage, it's a double support ult advantage. So Spirit, now at 89%, going to have to find a way to land a big Death Blossom here. There's not many other paths to victory against this. Faz might get Sound Barrier up in the middle of it, but it's a big ult advantage right now for the side of Sodipop, and they're moving in. Agilities off the Sound Barrier, Dragon Blade at the ready, moving in, deflecting. Gonna get 2 more swings off, but Locke able to take him out. Big Zenyatta plays. Spirit still alive, still secure. Going to be taking out...
Nice!
Oh, well, doesn't even figure that Lucio's worthy of death as Retzi gets 2 in the back.
No, they got that sounder halfway through the fight and had a huge advantage then as they were scattering away. Retzi hit a Deadeye, got 2 down on it, so they're still in trying to get poked, but this push is effectively over. And again, Rise has stabilized. They're going to have ults up in this next fight. That Death Blossom never needed to be used from Spirit, so that's going to be an option as well. Maybe he finds that very famous Dorado corner and waits for the team to try to push in on him.
The place where it's just like, check the corners, please check the corners. Graviton, though, does come up, does put Desro in a bad situation. He's going to get rushed down. Here comes Spirit, though, going on the payload. Death Blossom out, uses it to take out Hype, but Grim Reality having very little of that. Takes out 2, looking for more. His team is dying around him, but Grim Reality still alive, able to put enough damage to take out 1 more. Takes out 2 more. Grim Reality unchained right now until finally Retzi takes him out.
Yeah, Retzi with a clutch dual kill there at the end that they absolutely needed, able to take out the Lucio and finish up Reality. A late kill onto Hype. Even though Hype took out Retzi, that is much better for Rise here than it is for Sodipop. They're going to have to wait for their support, whereas Retzi should be back momentarily.
Spirit right now,
they need to not get this
line.
ninja. Yeah, I've watched this Sodipop team ninja the cart before on teams.
Look at this! It's happening!
Yeah.
Sneaky ninja! Agilities is like, oh man, the jig is up, but he got so much payload push off of that.
They won this map by him. Yeah, they won this map by him doing that in the Go for Overwatch Cup from ESL just 3 days ago. So that is something that they know is possible.
Oh man, that would have been awesome, but Rise able to hang in there in the end. Agilities goes down for shenanigans, and here comes Desro moving forward. Earth Shatter at the ready, gonna drop it, knocks down 3, and Spirit is there with the cleanup. Gonna be 3 extra kills here for Rise Nation. Rise Nation getting their 2nd win right now in this matchup.
This is absolutely much better. They're finally putting it together. It looks like maybe they shook off some of the nerves or something like that. I mean, it was their first match of the night, I think, against Selfless earlier, so they had to go to the tiebreak. We saw them on Dorado, looked really brutal. This started out pretty bad, but it looks like they've calmed down. They got a couple victories, some confidence, and now, I mean, even if they finish it now, it's a really decent Dorado defense.
Yeah, not bad at all. And this is going to be beatable. However, take a look at the offense. They have so many ultimates right now in their war chest. Both support ults, a Dragon Blade. Agility's working his way to the back, looking to do some terrible things. Deadeye gonna set the stage, funneling people in. And this is going to be the offense diving in here in just a moment. Spirit does have an option to do a little bit of damage to turn this back, but still going to be rough. Big favor, and here comes Spirit. Rolling right in, is taken out by the reflection from Agilities. Now Agilities to the back line. Dragon Blade out, and Retzi, having none of it, picks up the double kill, and is Sodipop going to throw this away? This should have been their fight, but clearly it's not.
Yeah, it was really nice there actually by Desro, because they had to know that they were at the ultimate disadvantage. They hadn't seen ults in a while, so he charges Nomi there, denies the Earth Shatter. Nomi's going to use his Earth Shatter now, which may be a little bit of a mistake, as Midnight continues to clean up. Yeah, I don't know what that Earth Shatter was going to accomplish. 3 of his teammates were in spawn.
So for Rise, this has gone from bad to quite good. They are in the position to have a hold right before last. Into the next fight, they're going to have Graviton and Sound Barrier, two very impactful ults. Offense will not have any support ult up for this, so big advantage right now to the defensive Rise. All they need to do is execute, and they are going to get that hold as, oh my goodness, the Zarya right click takes that height from so far away.
Well, they do get Graviton afterwards, though. Desro tries to charge out of it and take people down. Agility is still struggling in there, gets taken down by X-Retzy. It is getting really brawly back and forth down there.
Grim Reality doing his best to keep Sodipop in it. Has 3 kills on this so far. Gets the double kill, but his team must get on the point to keep overtime in progress. They cannot just keep further back as they are right now. Grim Reality still yet to be dealt with. Still moving forward. Gets another kill. Is this the Grim Reality show right now? He certainly thinks so. Moving forward. Still at full HP. Gets the Lucio pick. Is this happening? He is on fire right now. Going for the McCree that's in the middle. Deadeye takes him out with the aid of agilities, and here comes Sodipop. Grim Reality on an absolute rampage.
Here comes the Transcendence trying to get out. Sound Barrier comes out for the offense, and they're fully stuck now. Everyone is back in this fight.
Oh no! They got off the payload. They weren't able to stay on it in the end. It's still a full, or not a full, but a hold on last for Rise, but Grim Reality being entertaining till the end.
Switching sides.
Yeah, Grim Reality was able to do a lot of damage, but the reason that it was still overtime is, let's look at our little rollerblading DJ there, as Jur stayed alive on the cart dancing around. Even though he was discorded, they could not hit him. I know everyone who's played Overwatch has the frustration of the Lucio who just will not die on the point you need. So he kept it alive, let Grim Reality do his work. Very close to getting it done there, but a much better look from Rise Nation here. As long as they can do some sort of offense, as long as they can finish the map, they're going to take this.
It's a good look, and of course finishing Dorado sometimes easier said than done, as we clearly saw there, but Rise Nation, they looked like the same team in the very beginning, and then they looked like a different team on last, where they really brought themselves back from the brink, and we'll see how things work. But Hex, try not to get too excited, as I'm looking at the defense right now.
Did Jur leave? Oh yeah,
Jur on the Symmetra, Nomi on the Reinhardt, Hype on the Lucio, Agilities on Roadhog, Hyped on Junkrat, and Grim Reality on what else but McCree, but your waifu has arrived here, Hex.
Teleporters win games, man. Like, they absolutely win games. If you can get a teleporter down, then, like, once your teleporter's down, you're no longer a defensive player. You were going full cannon mode. I mean, look at Internet Hulk. He's made play of the game after play of the game on Symmetra, and it's because, oh, my teleporter's down? Well, that's 90% what I needed to do. It's time to just hold down left click and run into the fray screaming. So, I love Symmetra play. I think teleporters win games. This is a cool look coming out for the defense here. So, they need to defend, and I think putting all your eggs into a Symmetra on first isn't the worst idea.
With the universe.
No, not at all. It is, for those who are curious though, it is high risk, high reward. Symmetra does not quite carry the raw combat power of other heroes, so the defense is going to need to sort of outplay and get a pick off here with the Roadhog or something early on to counterbalance things out. And look at Agilities. He's well positioned to do just that.
Yeah, well, this is what you hold up here, too, now that you have the Junkrat and the Symmetra. You want to try to get the spam down there as well, maybe distract them and try to get that hook. They do miss the hook over there, so they're going to rotate back through the arch. They're just trying to get that chip damage in. You got to get that teleporter up. Jur at 31%.
Agility's in and around right now. We'll have a hookup here in just a moment. Offense going all around the left side, going to take the high ground if necessary, but no, it's the juke. They go back the other way. Desro with the hammer takes out Agilities immediately. 65 now for Rise Nation. A little bit of razzle-dazzle in their approach, but it is working out. They are pushing back Sodipop, and Sodipop in a bit of trouble here. We'll see if Grim Reality can have some heroics, but certainly with that early pick, it's going to be rough.
See, is this Telly going to get to go down to die, though? Even if it comes down now, it's way too late. God, that feels bad. I've been seeing it more and more on Dorado, especially in competitive, that the Symmetra gets there, but it's like 5 seconds too late, that you get the ult, and this is a bad feeling. Jur's going to have to switch off of Symmetra with 100% ult.
And the offense, they're just keeping it going. Spirit is way deep right now, has a Dragon Blade up for the next engagement. And everything that could be going well for Rise right now is going Rise. They got the first point with incredible speed. Spirit will have a Dragon Blade up, and we'll see what they do here. But really, their biggest problem is they still have to move the payload quite a bit before they can really take the next fight.
Yeah, this is always really interesting to me what the defense wants to do. Sometimes they'll just stay static because there's not a whole lot that the offense can do, except Midnight on his Diva booping the Reinhardt off. That is exactly why you run a Diva on this section of the map.
Indeed, and Spirit right now was looking to go in, was looking to Dragon Blade opportunity, almost got picked off, but now getting healed back up to full, is going to be going in over the top here. Dragon Blade should be on the way, but the hook from Hyped says absolutely not. And if there's going to be a hold here from Sodipop, that is one good way of doing it, is they're going to be moving it forward. Hyped looking for another pickoff. Grim Reality, double kill Deadeye, and this is going to let Sodipop go highly aggressive into the offense, and it's time for a reset.
Yeah, that push was over. I thought maybe that the D.Va could save the Genji after he got hooked. I thought that shield matrix was going to keep any scrap out of his face. Not the case, though, there. So, yeah, offense completely has to reset, but the ultimates are relatively even, as the advantage is going to be for Rise. See if they can get some combinations together here.
And just for people curious, XRetsy did not DC. He was just sitting there waiting for sweet, sweet death for the reset. Every now and then, people say, like, what is he, DC? No, 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 he's not. But here comes the offense. They're moving in. Soundbearer on the way. They're making their move. Flanking Earthshatter comes out. Does effectively help take out 2 here to start things out. 2 kills here from the offense, and we'll see how things go.
Midnight continues to impress. First it was on his Zarya play, now he gets a couple nice picks on the D.Va, and a D.Va's not necessarily the killing machine that you want, but he's really screwed up their positioning on defense as well, so really nice plays coming out of Midnight as well. They didn't have to burn any ults to get this point. They've got 6 minutes left to get this near the end.
Well, they are setting an absolutely electric time right now. Spirit still has Dragon Blade at the ready into the next fight. Not a whole lot saving here for the defense. Hype, I mean, does have a Transcendence. That's about it. It could give Spirit a little bit of trouble, but offense has a Transcendence of his own. XRetsy in the back with Deadeye. Things are going to get worse before they get better, and Spirit might just dive in here in a moment. There's a lot of people grouped up. It's tempting for a Genji, but if he overdives, he will waste his ultimate.
Yeah, kind of just waiting on what the defense wants to do. They're going to back out slowly instead. They're giving up a lot of ground. At some point, they're going to have to just jump in and fight this.
Well, Spirit is jumping in. Hasn't popped the Dragon Blade yet. Now it's on the way out, moving to the back line. Getting it stunned out here by McCree. Does not have a pick off here just yet. Both teams still full strength now. 5v5. Grim Reality over the top. Gets 1 kill. Looking for more. Moving on, XRetsy is going to get healed up by this Transcendence, and defense should hold, at least for now, as Agilities carries some of the slack.
Yeah, Hype popped his Transcendence on the card. Agility's able to clean up in the basking glow of that heal. So yeah, they've got 4.5 minutes left, just about to push this out. Now it comes down to the thing that Slasher used to always say, like, you only need to win 1 fight. Just start banking your ultimates. You don't want to be going in with 1 ult against 2, which would be the case right now, or 2 against 3. Wait till you have 5 or 6, go in, try to win your fight with every tool in your kit.
Well, again, the key thing here for us, they have 4.5 minutes just to get to this point. They don't have to worry about any extra time. Deadeye, though, coming out here from XRetsy. This is going to crack the Reinhardt shield right away. Takes out the Reinhardt, moves more, takes out Grim Reality, and nothing is going to stop XRetsy from laying in the damage here. Dragon Blade is coming in the back from Agilities, but this would be a superhuman effort to go through the support ult and get the kills he's looking for. But he has 2. Will he get 3? No! XRetsy being the spoiler, taking him out. And this might be the victory card now for Rise. Spirit with the Dragon Blade coming up is knocked to the ground, but for Reinhardt, there's just not enough fall through for that Earthshatter.
Now, it was Jur. Again, they could not kill the Lucio to get him off the cart to get some movement. He bought so much time, forced them to use a lot of resources into him, and then it bought time for the Reinhardt to come out, who was able to Earthshatter, lock that down. Again, it's just his rollerblading prowess that has kept this game alive.
Yeah, and it's really good on him to actually delay it. Still 3.5 minutes left, still a long road to go, but there is still hope yet for the Sodipop team, and Hyped with the Graviton. Oh no, Hex. I know, this is the check your corners moment, but also check your high ground for the Zarya with Graviton. We'll see how this works out. Spirit, though, takes out Jett early on. Big Earthshatter, though, coming in to start things up here. Desro falling through. 4 kills now for the offensive Rise Nation, and they are truly rising up in all senses of the word. The payload is moving up. He only needs to go a little bit further, and there's going to be GG, and there it is. Rise Nation able to take the map.
Really cool final approach there, as they just zoomed through the bottom, went through that back door over there, and just made the defense kind of adjust to where they actually were. We'll watch it for Agilities. He got golden shurikens after all. He spent a lot on this outfit.
Oh, I know. I bought way too many Summer Games loot boxes because I wasn't even able to play. I was in London that entire time, and yet I knew in the back of my head that I would just be hating life forever if I did not get a Mirakri and that particular Genji skin. So I spent a non-zero amount on loot boxes, let me just tell you. The amount not to be disclosed. Joshy knows, but he's not actually here right now. He's on the analyst desk, and we're not going to them for a while, so maybe he'll pick up on this and say what happened, but for now, I'm keeping my secrets.
Fair enough. All right, so we'll get our next map. It is going to be King's Row.
I gotta say, this is interesting. Rise coming out that strong because remember, Sodipop is one of the qualified teams to the Overwatch Open. So for Rise, even though they weren't able to beat Method, it's still a good showing for them. I mean, they didn't come out all that strong versus Selfless, but hey, progress is progress.
Okay, so we are good to go. They're on the attack. It appears that Rise is ready.
All right, so Rise is ready. As mentioned, they will be on the attack. It's going to be Sodipop on the defense. We'll see if Sodipop can make King's Row more their own as we get in and load in. Hex has hit the button. He's mad with power.
It's actually kind of nice. You know, I was actually pretty worried because I never really done the adminning side of the tournaments. I was just a guy that just shows up and starts talking about games and other people handle it, and I always get to defer to the admins and things like that. But, you know, it's nice to be able to just whip some things around, and so it's been all good. So this is... No, I'm not mad at power. Just hush. But that's exactly what a person mad with power would say. So this is going to be Rise up 1-0, looking to finish this out against Sodipop. So Rise maybe had some doubters after that one game we jumped into there, but looking much better now. Both of these teams kind of on the cusp, you know, so we'll see how it shakes out for them. And then we have one more set of the night after this. So thanks for tuning in. Please stick with us. What do you see coming out for the defense here?
Well, defense coming out here from the side of Sodipop is going to be Agilities here on the Genji, Jer on the Lucio, Grim Reality on what else but McCree, Nelmi on Reinhardt, Hype on the Zenyatta, and Hyped going to be on Zarya. So pretty standard defense coming out here, but again, do see teams deferring more to defensive Genji over defensive Reaper. And I think it's just a testament to how strong Genji actually is right now.
Where they do not expect.
Yep, so it just, you know, kind of shows just how different they had to play when they had to run a sub, because since then Grim Reality's been on the McCree, and we have all seen exactly why he's been on that McCree. Now, for the offense coming out of Rise, there's a couple things I know and a couple things I don't. I do know Midnight will be on Zarya, X-Retzi will be a McCree, Spirit will play the offensive Genji, Faz on Lucio, Locke will play Zenyatta, Desro will come up onto Reinhardt.
All right, so the defense is set, the offense is on its way. We'll see just what Rise Nation has up their sleeve right now as they look to prove their mettle here against Sodipop. Up one map, and they are moving right in, not wasting any time whatsoever. Spirit with his Reinhardt going a little bit forward. Grim Reality in trouble in the back. Agilities, though, for the defense. Got to that back line, took out two. Sub Nomi for one more. 3 kills here from the side of Sodipop, and they will not fall here on the first attack.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the downsides of pushing in as aggressively as they did. It just opens up so much room behind you, and if you don't have eyes on that Genji, they will eat you alive. I was actually a little surprised that Agilities wasn't hanging out on the statue where Shadowburn was earlier, but apparently he had other plans, clean them up, and effectively stop that push before it even began.
Alrighty, so the offense leaping in once more. Agilities about to have Dragon Blade at the ready. Still 2 kills for the offense. Agilities, will he be the savior? Has one. Looking for more. Still swinging. Gets a reset. Has a second. Dashes again. A triple kill for Agilities. And that might be just enough for Sodipop to hold on here. But Spirit having a bit of heroics on his own with his own Dragon Blade.
Yeah, he does not quite get the kills to reset his dash 4 times, though. So that is the end of Spirit's life. Jared will clean him up in the end, so they're going to wait for him to come back out, trying to get some poke in. Now, apparently they're not waiting. Desro has other ideas. He's right in. He forces the Sound Barrier out.
Sound Barrier is out here. Defense moving forward. Still going to keep them blood for Nomi. Not even find anything. The Earth Shatter here, he's lucky he didn't die. It was down to about 40 HP. Defense, though, coming in all around him. They are reestablishing. Transcendence is out. And they're not even going to need an Earth Shatter here just yet. They're just going to roll right forward. Yeah,
they get absolutely cleaned up. Nomi there earlier. The thing about Winston play tonight that I've seen has been kind of weird is that when Winstons are going in, they see other Winstons do it, and they're like, well, they lived, it should be fine. Those other Winstons who live go in, they get cleansed by the Zarya bubble, then they get out immediately. I've seen so many Winstons go in and die before their team can do anything to help them out. I mean, maybe that's a team effort, but it has been a tough day for Winston.
Not a great day for Winston, but the offense right now is setting up. Looking to move in here. Just one time, they're going to be out. This is their window. If they fail this window, they might not cap at all. Nomi able to take out Luck to start things out. Grim Reality, Skulls popping up. Does not quite get it, but Agility's moving around. Dragon Blade at the ready. Gets two. Looking for more. And that is going to be another hold here from the side of Sodipop. What a defense coming out against Rise.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for them. Now, they had the right idea there on their Winston jump. He jumped in and then got the Zarya bubble, but I don't like that he hit Primal Rage. You're taking away so much damage from yourself, and he was trying to just punch people in the back lines, but Winston's punches do not do what they seem like they should. It's a giant gorilla punching someone, but you're better off with a Tesla.
All right, XRC able to get on the hype here. First pick off here to the offense. Will this be what they're need? Defensive Sunbear is out though, and this is going to the defense get decent momentum in their favor. Agilities trying to deal with the Spirit. Will deal with him. 4 kills for the defense. And once again, they're going to push the offense back with only 53 seconds remaining. The offense has but 1 push.
Yeah, 1 push and no one is even at 50% of their ultimate. If they win this fight, I will be absolutely stunned. If they win this fight, it's going to be because Sodipop made several mistakes.
Definitely, and hey, I mean, Sodipop might have made some mistakes at some points. We'll see how it works out here towards the end. Grim Reality, Deadeye now out, Skulls coming out. Spirit again, Wraith form away from this. Offense still at full. They still have a chance to take this as XRC takes out Grim Reality. There's no better early pick than that. Now looking for Agilities. Agilities. Oh, the flashbang! The splash on it takes him out. XRC styling. And it might be really late here, but Rise will be grabbing this point.
They're gonna win this fight. How did that even happen? I mean, like, taking out Grim Reality, you're right, that's just huge. He was able to take him out early on, that's a lot of their damage. I will also give Desro a ton of credit to get that charge in there, waiting for the Transcendence to come out a little bit. Again, I'm not sure, like, if I even love the Transcendence there. Did you need healing, or did you rather have, like, the Discord and Zenyatta's DPS along with it? So, maybe a couple mistakes there. They had every advantage in the book. Sodipop should not have lost that fight, yet here we are.
No, but how Agilities died there is just epic. It's just like, I'm safe in line of sight. Not so much. Flashbang does do a little bit of damage and rough times, but Agilities will have Dragon Blade up, is going to be looking for revenge. Is going to be running in the 2 support ultimates, so I don't know how effective it's going to be. It will bait it out. Graviton, though, out right now from the defense, and here comes Agilities in the back line. Has to throw up the deflect and gets taken out by XRC when it fades. Here comes Spirit. Death Blossom at the ready. So you move in here. Defense just not loaded enough when it came to ults. Could not deal with all the support ults from the offense.
Yeah, just look at this huge momentum swing off of that last fight. And they've got more ultimates now. They didn't even have to use them all. You've got Graviton, you've got Death Blossom now. Both support ults are down, but they needed to use those to get the cart this far. So they got 2 minutes. I think their best chances to win this next fight here. Graviton, Death Blossom. You don't want to have to make this long walk back through the streets.
No, not at all. Offensive Graviton is out right now. Spirit looking for the fall through, not able to get it. Defensive Sound Barrier keeping the defense alive. Agility is moving to the back, gets taken out, but Grim Reality is still here at the poke, and they're going to rush this down. Defense holding once more.
Yeah, it was nice by Nomi to shut down that Death Blossom that had designs on killing their entire team, or at the very least softening them up for another kill. So they also chased down Desro at the end. Now the momentum has swung right back as Hype and Hyped both have their ultimates up, defense holding forward, trying to get even more poke in. This has been so back and forth, but essentially it is Sodipop holding right now. 1 decent push left from Rise Nation, and this map will be set on the side.
Defense coming out here once more. Deadeye up, Skulls coming up, Grim Reality not going to be able to break LS to get this. Spirit actually takes down Hype, so a bit of an overdive here from the defense of Sodipop. Rise Nation with a 6v5 opportunity. They're going to keep it rolling forward. XRC is dead, but here comes Agilities. Backline once more. Dragon Blade meets Transcendence. Going to have to back out. As the offense keeping things moving forward. Spirit still doing all sorts of damage. Needs to get healed up right now, though. Genji dashing right into him. And the offense actually buying time, and Sodipop's defense collapsing a little bit here, Hex.
Yeah, Jur is going to try to ride the cart, and Hype is going to come and join him with this Transcendence. Jur has stalled out the cart time and time again, but here comes a huge Earth Shatter.
Earth Shatter coming in from Desro. Will it be enough? 2 kills here from the offense. They're keeping in. Nomi turning it right back around. And this is close. Both teams fighting out here on the point. Midnight going forward. On to Nomi. 3 kills and Rise. They're still alive, Hex.
There is no quit in this team. You can't take that away from him. So it's been so back and forth, but at some point, Sodipop has just been kind of making mistakes when they needed to not make mistakes the most. And right now, they've got 2 minutes to finish out this map on a map that should have honestly been held at first point.
All right, well, the Nightmare continuing right now for Sodipop. They do have a defensive sound barrier. They're going to use this to rush right down. Grim Reality looking for poke, but Transcendence basically going to make this a wash. They're going to have to back up a little bit. Defensive Graviton is out, sets them up for 2 kills. Grim Reality with the fall through, poking from long range, makes it a triple, and that is going to be a hold here from Sodipop. And there's a minute 30 left. You'd say, oh, they have an advantage going forward. And yet, we know what's happened the last 2 times they've been in this situation, Hex.
It's been a little bit bonkers, I guess would be the best way to say it, the nicest way at the very least. So they're gonna post up here, 2 pushes left from Rise Nation. I'm not counting anything out.
Oh, defensive sound or Earth Shatter is on the way. Grim Reality is taken out immediately though. A big pick off by Retzi to set the stage. Nomi gonna have to compensate, but the Earth Shatter knocks down 3. Desro gets crushed against the payload. They don't have as much fall through as they would like here, but Transcendence gonna let the defense be way more aggro to start things out. Grim Reality is returning to the fight. Here comes Spirit. The turnabout is real. Has one. Looking for more in the back. Gonna be a double kill for Spirit before falling. Honorable sacrifice as the offense moves forward once more.
They didn't get any kills off that Transcendence. They were chasing down 4, and those 4 all backed out safely, waited, got the Dragon Blade off, got a couple kills. They're going to clean up now, and now it's again Scrappy on the cart.
Lock right now. Transcendence going to keep people alive during this Graviton. Is it going to be enough? Midnight able to take out Hyped, and Rise Nation, again, they're back against the wall. It's clearly when they play best. They have a real shot of capping this out now, Hex, when they were almost about to lose on first.
This is insane.
Wow.
I got 8:52 on my clock, something like that, because there was a few overtime moments there. Sodipop's going to want to review that one. I mean, all credit to Rise, no give up in that team, but that first point, they were going into a super disadvantage, and they gutted it out. And you know, the common theme through a lot of those fights they pulled off was, 1, taking out Grim Reality first. He's been a star on that Sodipop team. And 2, sometimes they hit these Transcendences and Soundbearers they didn't get anything off of. If you're going to do those on defense without being initiated on, you need to start getting some value out of them, because you're leaving them alive, and they know your support's just down, and that's exactly what happened in that last fight.
It was rough. There's nothing more to say about that. And yeah, I mean, you're right. It was support ult management for Sodipop was certainly lacking, to say the least, and they paid for it. They should have had the first point hold. They didn't have the first point hold, and every time we were down to about a minute left, Rise Nation quite literally rose up to the occasion, and now they've bought themselves the potential of winning this map. It's not a great time, they said. It's certainly very beatable here by Sodipop, but Sodipop now at least has to complete the map, which is much more than really Rise Nation never could have asked for.
Yeah, so Rise Nation on the verge of 2-0ing this set. It's pretty interesting. They've done it in some odd ways here, but they've done it, and all they have to do is not let Sodipop get to the end of the map, and if they do, put it into overtime for long enough. That is a really, really long time on King's Row, so we'll see what happens here. But I mean, after this weekend, I'm never just betting against Rise. Every time I open my mouth, they just prove me wrong.
Alrighty, well, take a look here at the defense coming out from Rise. It's going to be Midnight here on the Zarya. Spirit on Reaper, Lock on the Zen. Faz going to be on Lucio, Desro on Reinhardt, and X-Retzi on what else but McCree. So we'll see if this works out. And Grim Reality is going to be out for blood here, looking for the early pickoff. Some Roadhog speeding through the hotel. Hook is out, does not connect. Would have been huge if it did, but decent defensive positioning here thus far by Rise.
Now they're posturing to go in. They want to collapse on this, but Spirit might just, he's just going to get some poke in. They've decided to bring everyone else back. Spirit completely safe as he can just Wraith out of there, which he does. Now they're just going to hold back on defense.
At the very least, for the offense here, Sodipop, they know they don't have to be too crazy. They can take their time, because basically any time they set is going to be a faster time unless they really drag their feet. Reinhardt, though, charge going in, protected by Zarya, almost takes out the offensive Reinhardt, and again, the defense of Rise really winning this poke war right now.
Yeah, they got to feel pretty good so far. They're not really giving up too much damage. They haven't given up a death yet at all. So the shield's cracked now, though. We'll see if they take this as a cue to get in. Spirit got hooked. He's going to Wraith out. This charge might be the wrong idea from Desra, though. He pays for it.
It is the wrong idea. Sound barrier coming out here from the offense. Grim Reality with the punish. He's moving in, looking for more hooks. Gonna go around the right flank right now. Hook is up in 1 second. Takes out Faz at the right click. And now things are degenerating for the defense. It's gonna be very hard for them to defend this from this point out. Grim Reality on the verge of landing another hook here, but either way, big position from the offense should let them get point A.
Yeah, that kind of started with Desro, I think, trying to save Spirit, who didn't need saving. He was wraithing out after he got hooked. Desro was coming in as the hero. Maybe he was going to charge because his shield was down, but I don't know. I think Reinforced said it too in one of his AMAs that, well, you know, what's your best advice? It's like, if you're thinking about charging, don't. And Desro put him in a bad situation there by being without a tank there for the rest of that fight.
Uh-oh. Look at Spirit. Spirit is up to no good right now. Grim Reality goes down. The entire offense is going to be rushing forward on the payload. But look at this. Agility spot out Spirit, not having any of his shenanigans. He's going to warn his team that he's there. And Spirit, I don't think he cares. He's like, yeah, he's not really going to tell his team, is he? Is he? Well, Agilities came in for the kill anyways. Reaper control. Alright, so Deadeye coming out here from the defense. They are rolling out once more. Sound barrier has been used. And I'm not sure about the sound barrier. They didn't get a whole lot of use out of it. Sodipop definitely coming for the punish. Grim Reality on the double kill. Agility's in the back line looking for a little bit more. And what a turnabout here for the offense. And pretty good stuff.
Might as well be a team kill because Spirit had died much earlier. He was the only one alive. They didn't get to hear the glorious horn. We'll see if Rise can get in position here to defend this. Cart moves pretty slow. Only 2 of them right now in position. Desro just uses charge, but they're going to try to contest this. Nothing for free here.
Soundbearer coming in here from the offense, starting things out. Dragon Blade is out from Agilities in the back line. Has one. Looking for more. McCree, the next victim. He's going to dive right back into the fight. Zarya might be next. Zarya, all sorts of weak. And that, again, is going to be a big fight here from Sodipop as they are rolling through Kings Row right now. And Rise Nation, they did a good job to stay in the map, but Hex, do they have it in them to hold for 5 minutes and 50 seconds?
You know, again, I'm just probably they win fights without any ultimates. They do things that no normal team should do. So probably, I don't think they will, but
It's where Hex is burned. He's not saying Rise Nation won't do anything here.
I can't do it.
But Hyped does have Graviton at the right. Gonna drop the Graviton, pulls in at least 2, if not 3, forces out the Transcendence. Let's take a look at Nami. He's gonna wait for this Transcendence to fade. Drops the Earth Shatter, gets absolutely nothing. Jumped the gun just a little bit, and here comes Xretzi in the back. No one on him, ready to lay down the poke. And he's gonna get the cleanup that he's looking for with the aid of Spirit.
My ultimate is charging.
Yeah, that's the first step to holding for 5 minutes. So now they've got some decent stuff to work with. Desro's there. Midnight's going to have his ultimate momentarily. And really nothing to work with on the side of Sodipop here. So the advantage is right now in Rise's corner. And they're going to hold this card around the bend.
And going for Rise into the next fight, Graviton is a big deal. They're going to pull in 2 here from this Graviton, looking for the follow through. Are they going to get it? Down goes Nomi. Shield tank is down here for the offense, and they should just back out here, especially with Zarya being lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, they got to be careful. Agilities and Hype got a little too aggressive there, thinking they were going to get poked back in that corner. They did not. Spirit found him, took down his counter number and Agilities, and forced Hype all the way back too. So now they're going to be down to DPS early in this next fight, and the ults continue to mount for Rise Nation.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
All right, so the Sound Barrier coming out now. I don't know about the Sound Barrier. I guess it goes for Agilities on the Dragon Blade. Does set him up. The rest of the team was with them. They still get 2 kills off of this, so it's working out. Transcendence came out as well, and so this works out. Swartzy Deadeye later in the fight, but overall, much more momentum right now for the side of Sodipop as they move it forward.
Yeah, Locke and Faz found themselves, you know, without any support, as the supports up front. They both died on the cart. Both supports down now. Here comes the Earth Shatter to try to clean up. Nomi and Desro in Brian games to the max as they stare each other down, and Desro slowly backs away.
Grim Reality being so consistent in the back takes out Spirit, a vital death to Chain right now as the offense moves forward on their victory march. They only need a little bit more. Graviton is out here from the defense. They did take out Nomi with it, but not a whole lot else. Deadeye from Grim Reality, he's just going to hold it. Did not like what he was seeing. And the offense just going to back out and regroup a little bit here. But Hex, they only need one fight in the next 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, and generally I would say that that should be an easy task for them. No one's got any ults though. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be kind of just a basic ability fight here.
Nomi starting out with the bang, takes out Desro. The offense now 6v5. Will this be it? Deadeye is going to be up here soon for Grim Reality. He's going to pop that behind the Reinhardt shield, and Everything going right now, 64. This should be it. Here comes the last minute. Dragon Blade from Spirit gets absolutely nothing done. Agility shuts it down in a flash. Transcends is out. And this should be it.
Well, it looks like it, and you know what that means. Because we're going to the Temple of Anubis.
Score 3-3.
All right. Well, Temple of Anubis now going to be a thing. Sodipop, of course, forcing that. So, wouldn't have it any other way. Always good to have a series go to 3 and have this close of a game.
Yeah, so earlier, Rise Nation tied on Temple of Anubis, so we might be in for a long one.
Yeah, there's the thing about Temple of Anubis. The thing about the 2 CP maps, the Assault maps, their official name, is that they do last for quite a while if teams are evenly matched, especially when you get to the point where both teams might get as many as 6 points. That's a lot of setup time, a lot of back and forth. It does make for close games, but can get a little awkward. But either way, we are going here. It will all be decided here on Temple of Anubis, here in the Alienware monthly Melee group stages, Sodipop versus Rise.
Yeah, we do have one set after this tonight. If you've been sticking around waiting to see Cloud9, again, it is Cloud9 versus this Rise team, so that should be interesting to watch as well. That will be our last set of the evening. Maybe 5 minutes from now and maybe 40 minutes from now, we'll see what Anubis holds.
I feel like with how evenly matched these teams are, we'll be more on the 40 minutes from now spectrum. I mean, hey, we could always be wrong. It could just be a stomp. We could have a first point hold, but Temple of Anubis, it does tend to go pretty long.
Yeah, Rise has broken my brain after that last. I just can't believe what they did on the offense there. Yeah, they lost the map, but that was just an interesting display on both sides there. So we'll see what they want to bust out here on the defense. And yeah, this is what I was running Anubis. Xretzi is going to be running the Junkrat. Always fun to just hold down a room all by yourself. Of course, he'll actually play with his team, unlike I do. Desra will play the Reinhardt. Midnight will play the Zarya. Spirit will play the McCree. Locke on Zenyatta. Faz on the Lucio.
Look at it this way, Hex. At least you're Junkrat. You're not going out there and saying, you know, I'm going to go Bastion when everyone else is already DPS and say, no, listen, Bastion's great. I mean, I love Bastion for many reasons. Hero of my heart, but not so much my hero of competitive play under most situations.
Bastion's a veteran. You show some respect.
He's had nicknames over time. We're not going to utter them now. We're too classy to do that, but they will come back. It is election season after all. All right, so defense right now is set up here for the side of Rise. We'll see how they do as the offense moves forward. And the thing about Anubis is that if the defense can actually win the first fight, which is difficult given the options the offense has, but if they're able to hold, it bodes well for them holding right after just because of the ultimates that they build. Ult economy, definitely a thing. But here comes Winston leading the way. Zarya's shield going to give him a lot of support early on. Grim Reality falling through, takes out Xretzi. And even if an offense just trades out, it's super good here, Hex.
Yeah, it's a long walk back into this map. Nomi takes out Locke there, and Hype takes down Desro. This is looking all good right now for Sodipop.
Sodipop getting the kills they need. It's not super decisive, but it's enough. They're pushing Rise back. Midnight is going to go down. And that pick there probably sealed the deal. They will be able to get this. Grim Reality with some great poke from long range. Lucio going to be next to fall, and that is going to be a quick point A capture here from the side of Sodipop.
Yeah, we'll see if this really hurts them losing Faz and Retzi in the manner in which they did. Faz, I can kind of justify. He was there. He's a Lucio. He can buy you some time by just skating around. You have no idea that you like no design on getting that point back at that point. But then losing Retzi there, who just jumped in his Junkrat, might be bad. But I think he's going to be back up in time. Just not going to be able to get the spam out that he wants. So it didn't cost him too bad on the transition.
Well, here's the key thing here, ult-wise. There will be a Dragon Blade going up against no support ultimates. However, Xretzi able to poke down Jet from long range. It's going to really delay things. They're not going to have the Lucio they want here on the offense. They still might try and make something happen here with Dragon Blade, but Faz should have Soundbearer up soon. And if he has that up, life will get much harder for Agilities.
Yeah, Locke died so early in that first fight, though. I mean, he's only at 60% right now, and Zenyatta does not really charge all that quickly passively.
Alright, so Agility's moving. Graviton Surge is out here from the offense. They only pull in one. Earthshower gonna do a whole lot to counter things here. Desro, pretty good play coming out from that. 65 here for the defense, but Hype's coming in. Here comes Agility's Dragon Blade on the way. Has one, has two. He stayed alive despite the Earthshatter, looking for a little bit more. And that might be just enough here for Sodipop to take point B. And this would be fast indeed with a whole lot of time remaining in their bank, Hex.
Yeah, Dezo's going to come out and try to delay. He's on the Diva, which is great for that. They're going to get Zen back over here, maybe momentarily. Here comes a Deadeye. Mei is on the point. We've seen shenanigans on Anubis last. Who knows what's going to happen here? A Spirit Ice blocks. That should be it, though.
Should really be it. The offense cleaning up the kills they need to. Of course, we have seen teams have heroic last-second defenses here on Anubis by chaining in, but that is not going to be one of those cases. 6:24 remaining on the time bank here for Sodipop, and pretty good assault overall. Definitely going to put a lot more pressure on Rise than vice versa.
No, it wasn't the most, you know, picture perfect or super fast. It wasn't a 6-0-6-0 wipe on both sides to get it done, but it was a slow and steady prod through the map. Got won each fight, weren't slowed down too much except for some delay tactics towards the ends. They got to feel pretty good about that offense. We'll see what the defense comes out here now. If there's anything cool from the side of Sodipop, it looks like they're just going to be running somewhat standard, but, you know, we're still assembling heroes at this point in time.
Avengers, assemble! But... sorry, we hadn't hit the level of cheese required for this to be a normal stream here. Just way too professional nowadays.
That's true, yeah. I mean, like, you've been in the pro scene, man. You're all buttoned up. You're spending hundreds of dollars on shirts that get their own Reddit thread.
Yeah, I don't know. That was one of the more surreal moments in the casting career where you look at Reddit and it's just like, did I just make a thread about my shirt?
For those of you who don't know, on the competitive Overwatch, or I think it was the competitive one, it must have been, there was a thread that said, does anyone know how I can get a hold of ZP? And it sounded very urgent, so I opened it, and it was, he was like, I just want to know where you got that shirt, man. It was so good. And ZP was kind enough to reply with a link to the store and everything, so ZP, fashion icon.
Honestly, I just followed Seltzer and DDK's advice there because they are much better dressed and much more knowledgeable about fashion than me. I just barely limp along and try to look barely presentable. That's my dirty secret. But take a look here at the defense coming out from the side of Sodipop. It's gonna be hype here on the Zenyatta, agilities on the Genji, hyped on Zarya, Gurmialdi once more on McCree, Nomi on the Winston, and Jer gonna be on the Lucio.
It doesn't look like anything too out of the ordinary from our offense here. They're going to run a Diva, though. That's going to be Midnight on that. Other than that, everyone pretty much on the heroes they like running. Spirit sometimes runs as a Reaper. He will be on the Genji instead. So pretty much basic compositions coming out from both.
And they're being pretty aggro there. Agilities and Winston leaping right in. They take out Spirit. 65 here for the defense, but this is always dangerous. You don't want to overdive here, and they might have done that. Retzi able to punch Agilities. Retzi, though, going down in the process. And so as you trade out 2-1 as a defense, you're pretty okay. And it looks like that's what they're doing right now. They have the offense stuck in the room. They're not with a lot of power here, and Grimreality getting the poke he needs. Gonna set up the rest of his team.
Yeah, so a pretty clean defense there. As losing Spirit that early on was just rough. He thought he was going to get away with kind of the cute Genji poke, and then they decided to send their Winston and their Genji after him 2v1'd with people who are pretty good against you. Cost Spirit his life early on.
So offense moving forward once more. Spirit will be having Dragon Blade up sooner rather than later. Dash Swiss strikes right in, looking for Zenyatta in the back, and high punches him or kicks him in the face. And that is going to be potentially another defensive hold here. Defensive sound barrier coming out here in the end, and still looking pretty good.
Yeah, and really nothing positive has happened for Rise Nation here. They look a little bit out of sorts. They might want to switch up which angle they want to go through. Now, it's not easy to like kind of rush in center or rush in right, but they've had no luck going left side. They keep having eyes on left, does Sodipop. Agility's over there watching out, so now they're going to be pushing into an ultimate disadvantage, but we've seen them do that before. They are going to speed boost here and push in right. I like this. At least they're changing things up. Spirit, though, just not... He's trying to get cute.
Yeah, Spirit went down early, went a little bit over aggro to start things out. Grimreality just chilling here in the back. We'll see how this works out here, but Agilities once more at the Dragon Blade. And Hex, is this going to happen? Is this going to be the first point hold for Sodipop? They only have to hold for 2 more minutes.
Yeah, and it takes a long time to set up these pushes, especially staggering their deaths. Spirit's just had some rough lives here. He challenged the Winston one-on-one with the Genji. Of all the heroes you want to challenge, it's not going to be Winston. He tries to deflect. He can't deflect the Tesla cannon, so he goes down really early in that fight when his team had a nice entry. They actually got in through the right side, and then losing him early really just kind of put the end to that.
So an ult showdown is about to take place here. If Sodipop wins it, they win the map. Soundbear's out here from the offensive. Look at the Graviton mid-air. 3 people hovering. The gravity is real, and yet they are all still alive. Xretzi turning it back around. Agility's died early on that fight. Hype firing right back. 5v5 right now. Spirit, Dragonblade out, looking for a little bit more. Grimreality is dead. There will be no McCree heroics here as Rise Nation once more backs against the wall. Potentially about to cap this point.
I mean, they've got Spirit, both literally and figuratively. Spirit redeemed himself there with a couple kills on his Dragon Blade. They're able to pick this up at the end. Rise Nation not dead yet. Extend their time bank.
I feel like I've seen this movie way too many times. It's like Rise Nation is about to lose. Better actually win the game. It's almost like Rise Nation is a much, much better version of any average pub team you might have. Or just like, wait, we're about to lose? All right, we'll try seriously.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but there's no give up in this team. You have to give them credit for that. They just never say die.
Desro right now moving in Earthshadow, not getting a whole lot done to start things out here. So Sodipop certainly holding on. Here comes a Deadeye from Grimreality looking to clean things up. Happy little skull coming up here on Desro, and he's just going to save the charge because Agility's doing all sorts of work in the back.
Yeah, so cleaned up their defense now. I mean, that's always the most difficult push for a defense to hold, is the transition one right from first to second. They weren't super quick on the transition, so they were able to hold that fight, but now everyone's going to be in perfect position, exactly where they want to be. Apparently, Jared wants to be on the top of the world and shoots him down. He's going to back up as well. Agilities is in his fine Genji spot, watching both left and center. They're going to push in right side.
They're going to push him right side. Agility still does have Dragon Blade looking at the relatively tasty group of people. He's looking to feast. Dragon Blade will be coming out here in a moment. Going to be running right into the Transcendence, though, so it works out. Soundbear now out. Here comes the Dragon Blade moving in, slicing, dicing, but going to be running in the Transcendence, so not a whole lot to cut through right now, as Dragon Blade will be fading. But Grimreality picking off Spirit towards the end. Enough has been done that the defense should be able to hold.
Yeah, this is nice from Sodipop, because I think in previous times, especially against this team, they would have used every single ult they had in their kit, and then we would have been like, what happened to all this momentum? So they hold on to Deadeye, they hold on to Transcend, they hold on to Earthshatter. A nice use of resources there, which I think is what they struggled with in King's Row, especially.
Is almost ready.
Resource usage has definitely been better for Sodipop here in this game, and take a look here at the offense. They're not going to have too many resources here. They might have an Earthshatter, they'll have Dragon Blade, Deadeye. It's not impossible to win a fight with these, but it's going to be hard just because of the Transcendence. Transcendence going to make it hard for Spirit to really get too much done on his own, but right now he's looking for his opportunity moving in, and Transcendence coming out from Hype relatively early there. I don't know if that was the greatest move. Agility's taking out Lock, though. Grimreality onto Xretzi. 3 kills here from the defense, and regardless if it was a good move or not, they are going to hold and send back the offense once more.
Yeah, I really like actually what Rise is doing as far as their entries go on this map. They've been switching it up and they're getting in pretty clean. One of the problems with that is, though, like, they were getting in very fast and they don't really know where Agilities is, so he's been able to get first kill in the last couple fights. They're taking some cool angles, though, and they're getting in a lot of paths that I don't see teams taking on Anubis. That right side push was especially cool.
No, definitely. Spirit right now coming in. Dragon Blade out once more. Looking to go to the backline. Takes out Jer. We're looking to get in on Grimreality right now. Grimreality countering the flashbang. Not enough. A double kill for Spirit until once more he runs into his nemesis, Hype. Hype has been kicking people in the face left, right, and center today.
So, yeah, he's really shut down the person who's assigned to shut him down. They don't really have anyone else to get to the back line. I guess Midnight on his Winston could be dealing with Hype as well, but they're going to be pushing into a Graviton here and 2 support ults, so their work cut out for him for Rise Nation. 2:30 left in their time bank.
My ultimate is charging.
Hype right now holding back. Will have Graviton here in the next fight. Sorry, the Transcendence in the next fight. Hyped is going to have Graviton here in the next fight. Graviton coming out, pulls in 4 people to that. Will there be the follow through? They're laying in the damage, but they're not able to get the kill. Getting really stymied by that Transcendence, but the Earthshatter right after sets everything up. A triple kill coming in once more for Sodipop. Moving it forward. Lock going to bite the dust. And this is looking good now for Sodipop. Hex, they are stacked on ults here. I feel like that was Rise's window, and they missed it.
Yeah, Desro actually had a really nice move there too, because Nomi tried to charge through that ball of Graviton meat, but Desro charged him out. They kind of butted heads and knocked down, but a little faster on the draw with Earthshatter was Nomi, as Desro didn't even have his up yet. That Earthshatter got everyone, and the cleanup was there.
All right, so Desiree moving forward, does have Earth Shatter at the ready, trying to look for an opportunity. Sound Barrier going to lead the way, but they back out. They're not as aggressive on the Sound Barrier as perhaps they should be. Agility's now on the flank. Sound Barrier is gone. Agility's is in. Takes out Walk, looking for more. Gonna be slicing it down Reinhardt in just a moment. 3 kills here for the defense once more as Grim Reality gonna continue the poke and look for the cleanup.
Yeah, it's real simple. When you hear "Let's break it down" and you see nothing in the kill feed after it, someone made a mistake somewhere. Unless it was to save lives, but you can't use the sound barrier there and then back out of it. That is a go in committal ult there, and the fact that they had to use it and get nothing out of it is pretty brutal. They're gonna have Pulse Bomb, they're gonna have Death Blossom. The offensive ults can switch a game, and they're gonna have to here. It's probably their last push.
All right, so Spirit about to have Death Blossom up. This is hardly a good ult situation in general for the offense, but this is truly their last chance. If they get wiped here, there will not be overtime. And Spirit right now moving in, speed boost is out. He's looking to find a place to hit Q. Goes to the back and be running right into the Deadeye. Effectively, Sound Bear coming out here from the defense, and they are loaded for Bear. They get the first kill. Grim Reality over the top, and Sodipop, Hex, they are going to hold on, and they are going to win this series.
Yeah, same as last time. Desro did a really nice job of keeping, Nomi away from them. We were able to charge out, knock him down, but Nomi just had it up again. He had Earth Shatter up again, knocked him down. Desro's going to come in for one last victory charge, but this is all over but the crying. Spirit's going to try to get a highlight. They're not going to be able to get on this point in time. GG's. Sodipop defeats Rise Nation, but not an easy battle at all.
And the cool thing is here, Hex, we get to see a play of the game. Now, next patch, where we have the time bank system for payloads, we'll always see plays of the game, but don't see as much as you like, but let's take a look here at Nomi.
Yeah, he deserves this. That was the penultimate fight.
Beautiful stuff from Nomi. Time the Earth Shatter at the right moment. Set up his team.
Well,
alrighty.
Go ahead. Awkward.
Jinx.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, you realize it's like, that's how you know we're in sync here, Hex, where we're just like reading each other's minds, like, you go ahead, but it comes out exactly at the same.
I was going to say, it gets no easier for Rise Nation, as I'm going to be inviting Cloud9 into the lobby. That will be the last set of the evening. Rise and Sodipop are pretty brawly back and forth. If Rise can even hang a little bit with Cloud9, I think people will be very happy with it. So that is our next set coming up.
Alrighty, and to break down our last set, we're going to be sending you once more to our analyst desk. Ask Joshy / Aaron Bloodsire, going to be telling you exactly what went down and why in that last series that went to 3.